With the rise of malware and spyware on modern MacBooks, many users are understandably concerned about what hackers could be seeing through the built-in camera on their laptops, and while Apple's MacBooks offer more security in this regard than many Windows PCs, they are by no means invulnerable to these kinds of problems, as we saw with last year's major Zoom vulnerability. Many people have started using webcam covers to ensure their webcam can't be used to monitor them. This isn't necessarily a paranoid activity, but it is one that doesn't work well with some devices. Some webcam covers are a bit thick, particularly if you use a more permanent kind that features a sliding mechanism to easily uncover the lens. So if you're using a device to cover the camera on your MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, we can't say we blame you, but you might want to be careful with what you use and how you handle it to avoid causing expensive damage to your even more expensive MacBook. Apple has published a support article that warns against closing the lid of a MacBook if you have a webcam cover installed because it could cause expensive damage to your computer. That should be obvious to anyone who owns one of these Macs because the clearance between the screen and keyboard is so tight that the keys often leave an impression on the screen. An Apple repair technician told ZDNet that as more people have begun working and studying from home, the use of camera covers has gone up, and so have the instances of screen damage as a result. The technician describes the damage as distinctive, with a glowing white line down the middle of the display as a result of the fracture. In addition to the obvious display damage, Apple also adds that covering the built-in camera can also interfere with ambient light sensor, which would prevent other features like automatic brightness control and True Tone from working properly. Apple suggests that users avoid covering their cameras at all and simply rely on the green indicator light to determine when the camera is active, as well as using security features in modern Mac OS versions to restrict access to the camera in system preferences. For users that absolutely must cover their cameras, such as when it's mandated in a work environment, Apple suggests using a camera cover that is not thicker than an average piece of printer paper, 0.1mm, and doesn't leave a sticky residue. That being said, Apple did state that there is already a solution in place for users who are concerned about their privacy: the camera indicator light on the side of the MacBook webcam. This indicator light will turn green to inform users that the camera is active. Despite this may still not be satisfactory to users as the camera is still somewhat exposed, and who's to guarantee that hackers will not be able to bypass the security firmware and disable the indicator light without the user knowing. The fact that Apple has published a support document suggests that more than a few users have tried this, and Apple support engineers have likely seen the results. A Reddit user, CoolBee, actually shared their particular tale of woe from about 12 months ago when they cracked the screen of their spec'd-up MacBook Pro 16, despite only adding a super thin webcam cover. I take it out on Christmas Day, and behold, the laptop is cracked right under the webcam. The computer is basically unusable because the display takes a few minutes to refresh, contents of the screen to change. Jack Moore, the cybersecurity specialist at ESET, agrees, saying, "Although I'm surprised that Apple hasn't yet designed a beautiful built-in webcam cover, I'm more shocked that it's brazen enough to suggest MacBook owners shouldn't use one." He adds, "It would be dangerous to advocate that Apple's camera software won't be subject to an attack in the future too." There are a multitude of attacks you're vulnerable to if hackers can access your webcam. Among them, says Moore, extortion is usually the first crime that's seen. For extra security, you could use an app such as Oversight, which monitors to identify when your webcam and microphone becomes active. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell icon for more updates and notifications. Stay safe, and we'll be back soon with another video.